Hello, my wonderful students. This is part 2 of Foldable 5. Part 2 of Foldable 5. And once again, we're rationalizing or rationalize each denominator. So we have our expression as 3 minus radical 21 divided by radical 3 minus radical 7. So once again, we're going to use the conjugate. Move these pens out of the way real quick. We're going to use the conjugate of the denominator. Okay, so in order to do that, we can go ahead and write it. We're going to rewrite this expression here. We have 3 minus square root of 21 over square root of 3 minus square root of 7. Oops. So this is going to be multiplied by square root of 3 plus the square root of 7, because that's the conjugate here, right? They're the same, except this is negative, this is positive. But if I do this here, I also have to do this here to keep this, to show that we're actually multiplying by 1, because this is the same on top, the numerator and denominator. So this, I'm actually multiplying by 1. And if you multiply by 1, nothing changes, right? Because everything is the same. So we're going to do another little mini. I'm going to actually do this a little bit smaller because I need the space. Just go like this. And I'll put this one right here. Okay, so same thing again. We have our radical 3 and our minus radical 7. And then we have our radical 3. And then our positive radical 7. So this one we have 3 times 3. Is that a mark there? Yeah, it's not negative. It just had a mark there for some reason. Radical 3 times radical 3. It's our radical 3 squared, which is equal to 3. We have our radical 7 times our radical 3, which gives us our radical 7 times radical 3, which is equal to our radical 21. Then we have our negative radical 7 times radical 3, which gives our negative radical 21. Fantastic again. And then we have our negative 7, radicals times radical 7, which gives us our negative radical 7 squared, gives us negative 7. So once again, we're going to go ahead and rewrite these. This is going to be our 3, negative 7. Then we're going to have our negative radical 21 over our radical 21. So we're going to rewrite this. The only thing is that these are also binomials that we have to multiply. So we're just going to go ahead and rewrite them out for now. So we have 3 minus radical 21 times our radical 3 plus radical 7. And then we actually finished this here, so I'm going to go ahead and just use the pink. It's okay. Go ahead and go like this. And we're going to show that this is actually going to be our new denominator. That's what we did, right? We multiplied these two here. So our new denominator is actually going to be our 3 minus 7. Okay, our 3 minus 7. So now we're going to have another little mini one here. And to multiply the numerator here. So we have our 3 and our negative square root of 21. And then we have our radical 3 and our positive radical 7. Alright, so we have 3 times radical 3 is 3 radical 3. We have our 7 times our 3 is 3 radical 7. Radical 3 times, negative radical 21 would be a negative radical 3 times 21. Which is actually, if we split this up, this is actually 3 times 3. 3 times 7. So this would be negative radical 3 squared times 7. So the 3 squared would come out. So this would be equal to negative 3 radical 7. And then this one over here is going to be negative also radical 21 times 7. But once again, 21 is 7 times 3. So this will come out as negative 7 squared times 3, which is equal to negative 7 root 3. Okay, let's go ahead and write our colors in so you guys can see a little better. 3 root 7. And we have a positive 3 root 7. Fantastic. These are going to reduce out. And then we have our 3 root 3 and our negative 7 root 3 over here. So we'll go ahead and rewrite our numerator as such. So once again, we don't need to really write these, but I'll do it just for fun, just so we see that it ends up being 0. But we're going to go ahead and write this out again. So we have our 3 root 3 minus our 7 root 3 plus our 3 root 7 minus our 3 root 7, but we see this goes to 0. And this is all over 3 minus 7, which is our negative 4. So far so good. So we're going to go ahead and do a little distribution. And we see this is 0, so this is already out. We have 3 minus 7 times our radical 3 here. And then we get this over negative 4. But 3 minus 7 is negative 4, so negative 4 times radical 3 over negative 4. These reduce out, and we're just left with our radical 3, which is our wonderful, 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 wonderful answer.